So I started a new character just over an hour ago. I have a +7 flask with 9 refills available. I have enough smithing stones to upgrade a standard weapon to +16. I have enough Somber stones to upgrade a Somber weapon to +6. I have 150,000 runes, which is enough to level to at least level 40-ish, and I haven't fought anything yet. Here's how to do it. Hey guys, Thingfishy here. So, a couple of important things before we get started. First of all, thanks for the 6k subs. It's pretty mad that we've got here so quickly, so thank you so much for watching. So this is how I start a build in Elden Ring. If you want to follow any of my build guides, this is what to do to get started. I'm also working on making a written version of this guide along with all of my full game build guides available. But between making my videos and my day job, time is pretty scarce at the moment, so these will be ready when they're ready. I'll let you know. This video contains 2 main routes. The first involves grabbing most of the sacred tears and golden seeds available at the start of the game, and grabbing the Somber stone weapon upgrades, as they're kind of on the way. The second involves grabbing the standard smithing stones, so as you would expect, if your build requires a smithing stone weapon, your setup will be slightly longer. If you're following one of my build guides, don't spend any of the runes that you pick up, or purchase any of the stones. Check out the relevant guide for exactly how to do this. So now we're at Torrent, let's do it. So we start by heading through the ruins and picking up the map and the whetstone blade along the way. Now we head south towards Weeping Peninsula. Head across the bridge and look out for this guy on the chair on the right for the Somber Stone 1. Then head up on top of this nearby hill for the gold pickled Foulfoot. Continue heading south towards Weeping and grab the smithing stones and the stone sword key on the Bridge of Sacrifice. Then grab the Morning Star from the carriage, then these smithing stone 2s. Now head to the Castle Morn Rampart Grace. From here, go pick up the nearby golden seed and map. If you hug this wall on the right, it will prevent the giant from spotting you, so you can do this without having to dodge arrows. Head south from the map to this beach to get the Somber Smithing Stone 2, then quit out and walk back to the Rampart Grace. From here, up the hill and around to the right to the Carlu Baptismal Church for 1 tier. Then jump off the cliff to respawn back at the Grace. From the Grace, we head around the cliffs, across the bridge and up to the Church of Pilgrimage for the 2nd tier. Then pick up the Bleed Grease from the graveyard just outside. Then ride southwest for the final tier at the 4th Church of Marika. Now walk back to Limgrave. From the gate front, go up the hill, collecting the golden seed and lighting the Storm Hill Shack Grace. From here, head northeast for the Strength Physic, jump down the rocks and continue heading northeast. Kill the Golden Vow Knight, and jump down to grab the Lance and the Exalted Flesh in the camp. Head northeast out of the camp and then continue to the Saint's Bridge Grace. Head across the bridge, grabbing the smithing stones, then past the merchant and southeast towards these ruins. Grab the St. Trina's lilies and the mushrooms, then drop down this nearby ledge. Loot the graveyard for the runes and the Fever's cookbook for the sleep pot recipe. Then head north, jumping down these stones and onto the 3rd Church of Marika for the Wondrous Physic and another sacred tier. Then head south through the Mistwood, all the way to Fort Height. Grab the golden seed from out the front, then up the ladder for the first half of the Dectus Medallion. Now walk back to the 3rd Church of Marika. Head around the back of the building and use the teleporter to warp to Northern Caelid. Ride south from the Bestial Sanctum and pick up the golden seed along the way. Light the Grace in front of the bridge, and then up the hill and head towards this tree. Jump down the roots, then ride across the bridge to light the Lenna's Rise Grace. From here, we jump up the Spirit Spring and loot this graveyard for these 3 runes. Then ride towards the Minor Erdtree and up the Spirit Spring behind it. Grab the Grace outside Fort Fareth and then head inside. Up the ladder for the second half of the Dectus medallion. Then jump down this second hole. Grab the golden rune 12 by the rats, then jump across and down for Radagon's saw seal. Let the rats kill you, then head around the big dragon and west towards the divine tower. Head down the road to the right for the Somber 9 stone, then onto the upper part for a little game of football with this guy to get the Somber stone 8. Now walk back to Farath and jump down the nearby spirit spring and ride out to the Church of the Plague for another sacred tear. Walk back to Storm Hill and head north to the Broken Bridge. Drop down and head around the cliffs and into Liurnia. Grab the sacred tear from the Church of Irith and drop down the cliffs. Ride northwest to the Putrefied Ruins and take the teleporter to the Raya Lucaria gates. Light the Grace out front, then jump down to loot these 2 runes from the nearby graveyard. Then ride northwest for the Raya Lucaria key. To get the key, run straight up this rock and drop down. This way, the dragon won't aggro to you and you can simply open your map and warp out. Walk back to Raya Lucaria and through the gate. Light the Grace in the plaza, then out the north gate to the Bellum Highway. Drop down the nearby Spirit Spring for a +3. Then back to the Grace and ride towards the Bellum Church for another sacred tear. From here to the Grand Lift and up to the Altus Plateau. When you get to Altus, ride northeast to grab this golden seed by the Highway Grace. Head up the stairs and grab all of the golden seeds in the outskirts. Now head back to Raya Lucaria and into the dungeon. If you're using a level 1 character, it's probably a good idea to grab the Carian Knight's armour for some extra defence for some of the other places that we're going. Head up the lift and light the Classroom Grace. Then head back the way you came in and down the other side of the lift, right to the bottom to get yourself abducted by this abductor. When you spawn into Volcano Manor, run along and jump off this ledge. Make sure you jump off exactly here so you don't die to gravity. Head around the buildings and onto this roof for the Somber 6. Then up the lift. Okay, this is why we grabbed the Carian Knight armour. Up the lift, along the cliff for the Somber 5. Now we have every Somber stone apart from a 4. The easiest thing to do now is just to head to EG and buy one. But if you're watching your expenditure, or you're using a standard smithing stone weapon as well, head into Argyll Lake in Limgrave and to the Dragonburn Ruins. Open the chest to be transported to the Celia Crystal Tunnels. When you spawn in, grab the 2 smithing stone 5s by the hut, then grab the other one behind here. Now run up the path to grab this one before jumping over the shack and further into the cave. Grab another one by this nerd, then through to the next room to grab these 2 in this corner. Up the ladder, open the shortcutting case and grab the last Somber stone that we need. Then the final smithing stone in the final room. Now if you're planning to use a Somber weapon on your build, your setup is all done, apart from getting some runage, so you can skip the next section of this video. If you're planning to use a smithing stone weapon, head back to the Storm Hill Shack in Limgrave. From the Grace, head southeast to pick up the smithing stones from this chair. Loot the runes from the graveyard to the northeast. Then go see the trolls and get one of them to run into this statue for more. Then warp to the South Lucaria gate. Jump down to the side and head to the nearby gazebo and grab these stones. Walk back to the Grace, then head into the gate town, grabbing these smithing stones from the plaza, dropping down for these ones by the crab, picking up the nearby golden seed in the Great Town, and lighting the Grace near the map fragment. From here, ride towards the opening in the cliffs to get to the Ball Prawn Shack. Then head south of it for the Dexterity tier, because we may as well, and then head northwest for more stones in the gazebo by the Lobsters. Back to the Gate Town Grace and ride towards this rock to bring you to more stones by the flower. Then towards this rock for more at the Poison Gazebo. then towards the academy for this teleporter. Ride through the ruins and light the Grace by EG. Drop down the cliff and head towards the ruin-strewn precipice for one more seed and the final Smithing Stone 5. Now warp to the capital outskirts and head east, down into the river and into the sealed tunnel. Grab the Grace, then pick up these smithing stones under the ledge in the first room. Get the Smithing Stone Bell Bearing 2 from this chest. Jump down next to the elevator for this smithing stone. Then across the branches and further into the cave. Grab the Smithing Stone 5 by jumping down from this branch onto this ledge. Then finally pick up the Golden Rune 9 at the bottom. Then let this guy kill you. From the Stake of Marika, drop down to the bottom and bait this abductor into attacking you by the statue. You'll probably die doing this, but head back to grab 3 Smithing Stone 6s. Now head back to the lake-facing cliffs and down to the merchant for the last Smithing Stone 2. And that is all the setup done. We now have enough runes to buy the last 5 Smithing Stone 3s and all 12 4s. If you're following one of my guides, head over to the main video now. If you're doing your own thing, head back to Lena's Rise in Caelid, rest and make it nighttime. The most consistent method I've found for this Knight's Cavalry is to jump onto the side of the bridge and wait for him to do his jump attack. If he gets stuck here, go put the kettle on, he'll fall off eventually. Then head to Fort Fareth, apply the bleed grease to the Morning Star, and start hacking away at Grail. Reapply halfway through and pop the pickled foul-foot just as Grail dies. Don't worry, you've got plenty of time to do this. And that's it, the ultimate starter setup for every build in Elden Ring. If you found this video useful, subscribe to my channel for more Elden Ring build guides. Thanks for watching. See you soon.